welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be an update on my Project 10 uses. So that is a monthly series I do here on my channel where I'm trying to focus in on my single shadows, use them 10 times, see if they still deserve to be in my collection or if I'm ready to move on with them. So I'm going to go over last month's color story, update you on my progress. We do have one rollout, but it is a little bit of a sadder update if I just want to give you a little bit of a preview. But if that all sounds good to you, if you like Project Pan videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, let's get into my update. All right, so just to give you a little bit of insight on how I do this project, I bring in 5 single shadows from my collection, 2 mattes, 2 shimmers, and 1 kind of component like a ColourPop Super Shock shadow. And I'm just trying to get some love on them, use them 10 times, and then after that I roll them out. So the month prior, last update, I did have a complete refresh. I'm working with all 5 new shadows today. Like I mentioned in my intro, I'm a little bit disappointed in maybe my progress this month. I usually have better updates, but I know the reasons why. I just wasn't wearing as much makeup this last month, so it's okay. We're moving forward. I still have a little bit of progress to update you on and at least one rollout. So let me show you the color story for last month. This is my hardest color story to date in terms of the colors not really going together, right? Like we have a really bright warm tone here. The rest of these, like these 3, aren't too bad. But it was a little bit tougher for me. So let me just go ahead and swatch these out. And here is the color story swatched out. So let's go over them one by one. The first one that I have is Give Me Glow Kitty, a very light pastel kind of pink shade. I am wearing 4 out of the 5 of these today just to get my usage on them. And spoiler, and they all have the same amount of usage other than my rollout. So this has 3 of my 10 uses. Not bad, I wish it was more. I got those 3 uses in the past week, 10 days or so. So there was like 3 weeks I just didn't use these, but at least I got 3 uses, 7 left to go. Not my favorite. I'm going to give it the 10 uses, but I'm kind of leaning towards decluttering this. It's just a little bit too white based. And we'll go over like how I did my eye look, but mostly I've just been using this as a blending out and it's just a little bit too stark for me. And then the next one I have is Give Me Glow Trust Fund. This is a really nice purple, like a cool tone, not too gray purple. My type of shade, clearly, as you can see from the background. Really nice. Do like this one. I think it definitely shows where I gravitate towards color. And I have no complaints about this one. Also 3 uses on this, so 7 left. But I'm pretty positive I can knock this one out in the next month here. The third one that I have, we're now getting into the shimmers, is Give Me Glow Coming to the Stage. Most of my singles are Give Me Glow and Sydney Grace, so that's why primarily in my updates you see a majority of those being pulled. But this is like the black sheep of the family as far as color story goes. A very like warm tone, shifting gold kind of shade. And it's not just pink, it's very orange, it's very bright. I do like this shade on its own, like as a color, I like this shade, but it is definitely like very punchy, very summer, and now that we're in the depths of fall, it's a little bit tough. I'm still, like the others, I have 3 uses on this, working on my 7, but I'm pretty confident, again, like I could roll this out in the next update. Then my last shimmer before we get into my component is Sydney Grace. This is Frosted Morning. Very, I don't want to say it's a taupe, maybe like the darkest of taupes. Definitely has like a cool element to it. And not a lot of shimmer. Like this is a metallic. It says it's a pressed pigment on the back. So not a lot of glimmer. And this one I also have 3 out of my 10 uses. So these 4 are all the same. And so far with my 3 uses, I kind of feel like I cheated a little because I really just slapped them all on my eye. So the look that I've been doing right now is I've been taking Trust Fund here, laying it all over my lid, blending it out with Kitty. And then I use Frosted Morning kind of as like a base to this shimmer. So I'll use this on top of Trust Fund. You can kind of still see the purple poking through, hopefully. And then I put Coming to the Stage on top. And that just kind of tones down the brightness of this shade, but gives Frosted Morning like that sparkle. I don't hate this eye look. I think it's a little mishmashy for sure, like a little bit, like I said, lazy. I did line like with some black in there, but it at least got me 3 uses, and it's letting me know this palette, this Colorstory here. So I think it'll help. My challenge to myself this next month is to really use the other 7 uses, maybe to use the shadows on their own, not necessarily together, to really find out how I'm liking the shades individually and not just like getting my uses to get my uses. So that's my single shadows. And then we get into my component here. This is the Shiseido, I don't know the official name of this. I think it's like Aura Dew in Solar. And here's like the swatch of this. This is like the most translucent base with just gold shimmer throughout. I loved this shade. I got, let's see, 12 uses out of this shade. So this is rolling out of the project. We'll pull a new component, but it is just so pretty. I believe they advertise this as like a face highlight. You can use it just all over wherever you want. Cheeks, eyes, whatever. And you can even see like some disturbance. It's probably hard to see in the pan, but I can tell that like I flattened it out. Just with this last month or so, while I had this rolled in, I wasn't wearing a lot of face makeup, and this came in handy. It paired perfectly with a no makeup look because it just gave like this really wash of shimmer all over the lid and didn't look like too much when I was just really spot concealing using some powder, and that was it. I was like at a dog rescue for 6 weeks, and this got rolled into the middle of that time. So as like the weeks progressed, as I was there longer and longer, I kind of just got like more and more lazy with my makeup. I kind of valued sleep over getting up and doing my makeup every day. So that's how it goes. That's why I didn't get too much use out of those other colors, but this came in clutch. This saved this update, and we get to roll in a new one. I love this so much. I do believe that they're discontinuing this because when I went to link it last update, it said on the Shiseido website that they are discontinuing it. So I'm gonna trust them. And if you were thinking of picking one of these up, I highly recommend it. It's very similar to Urban Decay Space Cowboy or ColourPop Ritz, for example, but more of a translucent base. It really is just like a hint of beige, just a hint, but so sparkly. For luxury, like this is really pretty if you want to splurge on like a luxury single. Can't speak highly enough of this. This is like a really built up swatch. I don't think you could even get this on your eye, but when you sheer it out, it is just so pretty, so understated and wet looking. Really enjoyed it. My favorite single shadow I think that I've pulled into this project so far. But that is my Colorstory, the 4 singles plus the component. So now we're gonna roll in my new component here. I'm gonna pull up my Tiny Decisions app and see what the wheel wants me to work on this next month. And I'm hoping that the following update, I'll get a complete refresh. That would be really, really nice. And I'm just gonna pop up a screen recording. I find that to be a little bit easier than turning my iPad around trying to figure out which one, like looking and looking, but I do have all my single shadows here. So let's just see which one I pull while my dog barks at something. As always, Kiko Charmer Rose. Okay, so I know what that is. It's kind of like a Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize dupe. That should be interesting. Let me go grab it and I'll show you the new Colorstory. Here it is, Kiko Milano, Sweet Affairs, Charmer Rose. It is still in this box because I haven't opened it or used it. We're gonna find out together. Hopefully this is like a pretty wearable rose shade. Here's what it looks like. Like I said, very reminiscent of like a Charlotte Tilbury. And it has like this foam on top. I've never seen like a foam version on top. There we are. And I'm not gonna re-swatch these since we have 4 of the same. I'm just gonna kind of swatch it on the side here. It's very like, it's much more stiff than I was anticipating. I was kind of expecting it to be moussier like the Charlotte Tilbury, but it's very stiff feeling. It could also be because it's a little bit older. This is pretty. This is like a dusty rose. I wasn't hoping. I like this color better, but I was thinking it was gonna maybe pair really well with Coming to the Stage. But actually, I think it'll pair really well with Frosted Morning. They kind of have like the same texture, the same finish, that metallic-y finish. Very smooth. And I can maybe do like a smoky kind of something with the pink. I'm not mad at this. I'm happy that I'll finally pull something from my drawer of shame here, so that's always really nice. I think I could maybe even pair Kitty with it, get my uses that way, or even with the purple would be really pretty. This Coming to the Stage is just gonna be my trouble shade there. But that's really my update here. I'm excited to hopefully have a complete refresh next update. That's always much more exciting for everyone, but I have a lot of work to do. 7 uses on 4 shades, 10 on the new one. That is my update though. Let me know down below if you're trying to give your single shadow collection some love. I really focus on my singles and not my eyeshadow collection as a whole because I feel like I am rotating as best as I can through my eyeshadow palettes, but it's my singles that need the most love because clearly like I have unopened singles in my collection. This is where I'm going to leave you all though. I hope you're having a great one and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.